Hello, everyone, and welcome to hopefully about episode 10 of Banishers. I hope that everybody's had a great week so far. Grumpy's just saying that he envies my optimism that his day has gotten better. Hope springs eternal. I'm sorry if it's been a rough day. We are back for episode 10, and actually on the note of kind of rough days, we have our neighborhood, at least our street, has lost power at two separate points today, both a couple hours apart. So, well, actually multiple hours apart. So we're hoping that whatever repair work has now been completed. But if this episode suddenly cuts off very suddenly, that might be what happened. Until then, though, let's see if we can jump in. And we are picking up exactly where we left off with a few concerns about how the conclusion of the last case went down. Actually, it looks like it saved when I came outside because, we were just making sure that everything seemed to be working okay. We are going to rest at the shelter. So yeah, I think we'd actually saved inside, but 0 footsteps were taken aside from that. And just in case the stream suddenly does cut out very unfortunately, we're going to go ahead and save over the beast. Yes? Yes. Overwrite. Yeah, we're not going to go back there. Okay, so there we go. And that way we can always come back here if the stream goes for 20 minutes and then completely craps out. But let's rest at the shelter in the fort.
You're angry. Can tell.
Of course you can. Aren't you angry?
I'm more disgusted. Disgusted by what we saw down there. What Pennington and his cowardice allowed to happen. I hope they'll burn in hell. For that I hate myself.
Don't lose yourself. You've done far more than I could ever have asked.
I'll do what it takes, and gladly. You need not ask it.
The closer we get to my body, to the truth about what happened here, the stronger I feel. My senses rise. It's as if I can taste the silence, smell the scent of wood smoke, feel the warmth of your body, feel Deborah's wrath. I feel it as if it were my own. I know her rage. But that anger of mine, that fear, I thought when I left home, I'd left them behind.
You thought by becoming a Banisher, you'd overcome your anger and fear.
I thought at least I'd gain control. I'm a big bad Banisher. I fear no ghost. I understand now that this control was but a mere illusion. So much so that the sister I thought was gone for good seems to be winding her way back to me.
Your sister, Ayomide, wasn't it?
No. As a child, before I left Cuba, I had a friend. I chose to call her my sister. That night, the night I died, I dreamed of her. I dreamed of Calendre.
Are you sure it was a dream? Is that why you left the schoolhouse without me?
Yes. It must have been a dream. She wasn't there. I mean, how could she have been there? But I heard her voice. I'd swear on it. How could that be?
This was my first thought.
The nightmare, perhaps?
I don't think so. The nightmare felt close. This felt like it came from further away. As if from a different realm of being altogether.
What did you hear her say?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think she said we were family. Never to be divided.
She's after my job. She can't have it. I'm your family now. Nothing's tearing us apart.
No. Not even death.
Still angry?
Gloriously.
Oh, this is an all new thing. So here's our new power. So just as a quick recap, at the end of the last episode, we encountered the puppeteer who was a ghost, or more specifically like this gigantic entity that was chained in the blackness of the furthest deep part of the mines below Fort Jericho, and was the manifestation of the woman that Captain Pennington had falsely imprisoned and apparently chained up. Now, I still feel like I don't know those details, but it feels super rotten based on every shred of information that we have. That said, I was very, very hesitant to condemn Pennington, because since then, it seemed like he had worked very, very hard to make amends in his life and to treat the people around him well and with respect. This was not a thick-skinned situation where she was sending people that she deemed weak out into the forest to die. Captain Pennington, we met with the shopkeeper, Fernando, and the hunter, Flora, I think her name was, and they both said, this guy gave us a fair shake when nobody else would, and that was a ringing endorsement to me. My concern is that I don't know whether or not Helen Priest is going to be as even-handed towards all members of the community, or what her overall judgment is going to be, given the fact that she's having this puppet that may or may not still be controlled by some aspect of the nightmare. This puppet whispering in her ear in the guise of her dead husband. So it was a complicated situation, but ultimately I did what I thought that Red could rationalize and harvested the life essence, the soul, on behalf of Antea, and that brings us here with our new power Ensnare, which I'm learning about for the first time, and I assume it might tie ghosts down or like net them or something. Specters. When red is hit, increases the damage of the next heavy attack by 100%. This is the issue that I have with all abilities like this. I can't necessarily not get hit, but I would prefer not to, so let's look at what else. Hitting an enemy with the rifle stock attack increases the damage of the next rifle shot by 30%. So I do like doing more damage with the rifle shot. The problem is remembering to ever hit somebody with the rifle stock, so I might look at some of our other options. Weak spot hits restore 15 spirit points. It's not bad. Damage dealt by red is increased by 20%, but damage taken is increased by 10%. I actually think that I am satisfied with that. That seems like a really good trade-off. I am going to take that one. And then someday we'll get some spirit points, we'll read about those. And do we get to find out what Ensnare is? No. Apparently I can do some sort of an inventory. Yes? Oh, we can upgrade all of the rifles. Well, let's start with the really good rifle. Hitting an enemy with the rifle stock. Okay, I didn't pick up that ability yet. Increases the damage of the next rifle shot by 60%. We stack that with that other one someday, and that's going to be really good. What's my current rifle, by the way? Weak spot hits damage increased by 20%. Oh, wait, that's not what I'm using. I'm using this one. Rifle body shot damage increased by 100%. Well, see, I'm really good at hitting their bodies. I don't know about their weak spots, because at least right now, because I'm playing on controller, this game has a fairly aggressive auto-aim, and I am comfortable with that, because if I was mouse and keyboard, I'd be all about, like, the weak spots. Let's see if we can upgrade this some more. I mean, we can. What do we get for it? Sure. Oh, and we can now immediately do the next one. Let's hit it. Okay, Elite Gem, I don't have as many of those. Now, if I can also do this one here, because, again, if we can stack those two bonuses together, that seems very good. My only concern is that Scourge Accretions don't exactly fall off of petals. So, do I need that for anything else? I would need it for this if I wanted to do this. Dodging with Intent increases the damage of the next punch attack by 30%. I do that all the time. Is there a reason I'm not using the wristband? What's my current bonus? Punch attack is increased by 50%. Yeah, but spirit points, Cost of pinch. Yeah, I actually really like this one. What does this get us? A lot of red, actually. So I don't think that I do want to upgrade that one. And then this one has all the same stats. Each enemy increases by 15%. This effect can be accumulated. Resets on being hit. Punch damage is 10. Punch damage is 16. But this would scale up pretty quickly. Let's not worry about doing that upgrade then. Do we want to do any upgrades here? I actually really like this outfit. And it didn't occur to me until a bit later why. This is actually very similar to Antea's outfit, except with it glows a little bit more. I feel like the glow we could turn down a little bit. So, yes. Oh, I didn't actually mean to equip this rifle, but I will upgrade the rifle now. Okay, and now before we go, which of these two rifles do I want? That one's 41. This one's 49. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one because you increase the 49 by 60%, then you're really talking some damage. Okay.
Ceridian?
What do you mean, Ceridian?
Ceridian, what's wrong? I don't think she can hear us. We need to go back to the swamps.
You understand that? But it's a bird.
It's Ceridian, by way of the invisible, speaking through the crow.
But it doesn't work both ways. Imagine having a conversation with someone far away.
Yeah, imagine if you could share information across very long distances with a variety of different people. I bet that would be some sort of an awesome utopia with no problems anymore. Return to Ceridian's Island. Oh, like, you have to go from here right now. Like, at least I think so. Because it won't let me out of the room. Yep. Okay.
Can you feel it? I have goosebumps.
The veil is tearing at the seam. If I bruise the bud so the specters inside show themselves, you could shoot them. Once freed, the ivy should quickly wither.
Okay, so for some reason the ability to prune creeping ivy is called ensnare. I would have thought prune, but here we go. Antea may ensnare the core of creeping ivy to restrain it. This will force the wisps hidden inside its buds to reveal themselves for a short period of time. Red may destroy all the wisps before the... Oh, crap. Well, I think we get the gist of it, right?
That's for the gardening tip.
Okay, there's going to be a bunch of that we want to do. Just double check. No. There's that bone sound again. In combat, Antea can temporarily ensnare her foes in an ethereal web, so that's why it's called that. Hold left trigger to charge and aim ensnare projectile.
We can get to that ivy from the other side.
Okay, so it's introducing the fact that you do have to find the root or the core of the ivy in order to remove it.
The wards have weakened.
Ceridian's power wanes.
Oh, that's one of those, those. I didn't mention earlier, but one of the goals that I personally had for this episode was to go back and find Fear God. I don't actually know where to look. I figured it would probably be in our quest journal. But I was hoping to go do that. It seems like the plot has other business for us. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm no longer on the trail of finding that creeping ivy. Oh, we're back on the island already. Okay, hold on. I want to go take that ivy down. I know Ceridian's in a bad way, or at least that crow was croaking at us. as much. No? Is that... Okay, this might be something other than creeping ivy. Or maybe you have to go find, like, the core someplace else. Yeah, okay, my bad. Okay, that... Is that going to regrow? It does. Okay, so we've got something else happening here. I've got to hit
If I bruise
that...
the bud so the specters inside show themselves, you could shoot them. Once freed, the ivy should quickly wither.
No, I haven't reloaded it.
No, I don't much fancy my own garden.
Trust me, you don't want a garden.
I was thinking that it's possible we would have to have, like, an additional upgrade, like some sort of, like, short-range jump boost or something. But no, it was just be quick. Ceridian's going to be so excited that we have 164 Witchstone that we picked up on the way to go see her while she was croaking for help to a crow. So this should lead us back to where we were. This is just a shortcut, I think. Oh, is that the bone sound? It's those... I mean, that's not really a wind chime, but whatever it is. I have been trying to find the source of that sound. I still don't know what it represents. Hello to Solid Chrome Hickey! Hickey, we just got started. If you're just joining, we did a little bit of upgrades, and then a crow showed up, or maybe it was a raven, blackbird, and said, "Brr," and Antea was like, oh my god, what's that? What's that, lassie? Ceridian's in trouble. Go back to Ceridian's island, and it is possible...
I can feel it.
It is possible that Antea is just trolling us, but she felt very strongly that we had to come back and see Ceridian. So strongly, in fact, that we're actually afforded no other option. But I hope that your Thursday is going well, and hello to Jab!
Who there? Where could they be?
Oh boy. Bath or toilet? Or both? But by the way, where could they be? I think it was last episode or so, Jab was expressing, like, feeling a little bit worn down by some of the darkness of the stories in this game. Jab, if you didn't already watch the end of the previous episode, you may want to just go ahead and skip that one. Oh my god. That was... Like, we didn't talk much about the... Like, just the presentation of the puppeteer and stuff, but that was some Silent Hill stuff. I mean, that was... And I'm not a Silent Hill, like, expert. Find Ceridian. Let me just check to see... Yeah, so she might be somewhere in the general grounds, then. Scrooge McDuck is just lurking. Scrooge, very much appreciated, seriously. I hope that you are having a great Thursday. I think that I have left... Yep, I accidentally left the search zone. Because the thing was, I didn't get the sense from that puppeteer that this was a form chosen by the Nightmare to say, look at what you did, you're a monster, and look at this, you know, avatar of suffering that I've chosen to represent what you did to me.
If I bruise the bud so the specters inside show themselves, you could shoot them. Once freed, the ivy should quickly wither.
Oh, crap, that was... Alright. What I got the sense of was that, that was a consciousness that was suffering in the dark. Was that good? No, there's like 3 of them. There could also be like an order to it. Like you're supposed to do it in a specific order. Jab says that he's not singing along today. If he can get his back to agree, he's going to start playing Helldivers 2. I saw in Patikin's stream that you had picked that up. Have you... So you haven't started yet, though. I will be very interested in your thoughts once you get into it. My understanding is that the server situation has improved dramatically. Okay, so from here, we can hopefully bruise the bud. But mostly, Jab, I hope that your back feels better. Okay, so here we can bruise the bud. Let's see what we can do here. That feels insufficient, and yet I don't know what buds I'm missing. We've got that one there. We've got that one there. Where does this one go? There is a third tentacle or root structure. Oh, I see it there. Okay, so let's start from furthest to closest. He just did the training last night, said Jab, in Helldivers 2. I hope that you guys have a great time with that. I don't know if you're planning to play with Patikin or with other friends, but...
Farewell, weep.
I hope you guys have a great time. I know that Patikin's really been enjoying it. For me personally, and this is, you know, everybody has their own preferences. I was a little bit mystified by Lethal Company. I didn't really get that one. When I watched people play Helldivers, like Czar and Patikin were playing Helldivers together, I was like, oh yeah, this looks like, it reminded me of the huge explosion and like big action of Mercenaries and Mercenaries 2, except co-op and against aliens. So that seems like just all of the boxes are being checked. Oh dear. Jab is saying that now they're having trouble. Oh, Screwjaw is also enjoying it. But Jab was just saying that now they're having trouble with gamers gaming the system, as they are wont to do. Well, I wasn't exactly looking for this, but we'll grab this. One thing that I've started to wonder is it always an altar of the invisible, or does it switch depending on which character you are when you pick it up? Because I've just been grabbing them and paying zero attention to which character I am when I do it. It may not matter, or it might be extremely important, because I might be accidentally over-leveling one or giving one of them more health points than the other. Well, I still didn't find Ceridian, but we did find a bunch of other stuff. So... boy, I'm not sure if I do want to know how they're gaming the system, because sometimes if you hear about an exploit, it becomes very difficult to not do that yourself. But I am curious what they're doing to game the system. I know that there was a thing earlier, I think it was last week at this point, about how they were going to get more aggressive at just kicking AFKers, people that were logged in. Because there were login issues with the Helldiver 2 servers, what people started to do was just logging in, getting into the game, and then just going AFK so that then they could play in 5 hours when they actually wanted to. That was then further overloading the servers because it's managing all of these active connections for players standing there motionless, as well as all the new people that are actually trying to get into play. So I understand why the people were doing it. It was just more disruptive. I am very bad at finding Ceridian. Jab does not feel that much sympathy for it. Gamers are going to game, that's what they're going to do. I have to... My guess is the developers didn't know about this, or maybe whatever the exploit is, didn't expect it to get...
Crows. They flock to that great tree up there.
The great tree. That great tree? It's a nice tree. I'm not sure I'd call it a great tree. It's fine. I guess my issue is, or my question is their gaming of the system making the experience worse for other players? Because if that's the case, that is annoying. Oh, hold on.
The Banishers are here.
Already? How unfortunate.
You called us.
Did I? I thought I had more time. In the end, it runs out for all of us. As I depart this old carcass, I leave no burning heart behind. Go or stay. To prevail, you must first set your heart at peace. When at last you face the nightmare, you must both be clear on what you want. You must.
What do you mean?
It is not for me to give you answers, only to prepare you for what awaits. Then we can all go to sleep. Seeker doesn't hate you, Rory. She's just not used to being trusted. Protect her. For me. You're too late, old mosshead, as ever. Time for peace. I forgive you, old man.
Crap. Ugh. Okay, not what I meant. I'm trying to figure out how to do the, there we go. Okay.
Soldiers, bring me her head!
Take the soldiers down first!
Oops.
Have a bit of this.
I will handle this.
Oh!
Let us stay down.
Take armed soldiers in charge.
Crap.
Handle this. The wisp is mine.
Over my dead body, Mustard!
Gotta keep this up.
I've got all the time in the world. The wisp is mine.
Over my dead body, Mustard!
I'm sure Seeker is also doing something really important while she taunts this guy.
Enemy resists.
See, I don't know what that is. I don't want to stand in it, though.
I'll get you it. I'll get you all. You shall atone, witch! Atone your dawn!
That was so slow, and I still got caught by it. He gave me like 8 seconds to dodge.
I'll get you it! I'll get you all!
Old Mosshead is no more. He'll never drink from your skull now, will he? Another ancient promise broken. But what about me? How do I live now? You were all I ever had, and all I'll ever have. Can I set the world on fire now? I just want to see it burn. A pity. Farewell, then. She took me in when my father... when no one else wanted me. She taught me to stand up straight.
Leave her be. For now.
Yeah, we'll even wait until we've gone to, like, look through the stuff that we got. Feels a little bit tacky right now. On our way out, and also, hello to Mr. Haseo Ryu. Haseo, I hope that you've had a great week. Sorry, you came in sort of right in the middle of a big fight and...
tired
cutscene.
of all this death.
Want to talk about it?
I will do.
Boy, we just took a nap, too. On our way back, I don't mean to, like, oversimplify this or to minimize the sadness of another person here, Seeker, who, like, really cherished that relationship. But as somebody who has recently met Ceridian, it seemed to me like she went out on her own terms. It seemed to me like she understood what day it was, and this was going to go down exactly the way that she had decided it was going to go down. I'm not often in the habit of dying, but I sort of feel like that would be my preferred way.
From the invisible.
Okay, hold on. Strange times to come. One day to come, soon enough, I'll order you to find a man unconscious by the shore. I already asked, I may again. These will be strange times, my dearest, so you must be ready. Times of sadness and mourning through the courses of weird suns and moons in the sky. Frozen days in the eerie and cold air of a long-lasting winter. Repetitions of events you already lived. Unpleasant feeling of suspended time. Endless days and weeks. I would not dare to claim I fully know how or why this will happen. There are so many mysteries which elude me, for the better good, I suppose. When these times will come, be ready, again, for the unbalance will be so strong, even the dead may come back from a future you already faced, and it will be our task to restore the balance again. So, this is just me thinking aloud, and I've actually been wondering about this ever since we first met Ceridian. I'm not good with faces, but it would not be out of bounds for Ceridian to be Future Seeker. I don't know how time travel works in this world, but it really does feel like Ceridian and Seeker are on a loop with one another. And these sorts of sentences, even the dead may come back from a future you already faced. The fact that Ceridian sometimes spoke in the future tense or past tense of things that hadn't yet happened, like, oh, well, I guess that hasn't happened yet, but it will. I sort of feel like Ceridian is Seeker, but that's a guess. Carol Luna, thank you for the requested quote. So Haseo is home today. Is that home on vacation? Home sick? Home distressed? I hope that it's been an okay day, whatever the cause of it. I'm gonna smash for pottery. But there was nothing inside. So we will rest because I don't think it'll let me go anywhere else, but I do want to go try to meet Fear God if he'll have a conversation with us.
What will become of Seeker now?
She'll try to make sense of her pain. Or perhaps she'll sit with it a while.
Or she'll try to kill it.
Grief knows no rulebook.
When I returned from the war, I walked the wet streets of London for a long time. All I could feel was my heart digging a hole deep inside my chest. After what I had seen, what I had done, I just wanted the pain to stop. I wanted oblivion.
Your ghosts were killing you. They almost pushed you to insanity, but you pulled through.
I let myself be drowned. You're the one who pulled me out.
Poetic, if melancholic. What's going on, Red?
I feel lost. I can't even stand myself. I can barely stand to look at you. Something eats me from within, and it's growing. I don't know what's happening. I'm scared.
I scare me too. I am untethered from the world, but through you I still feel like myself. I cling to this. The closer we get to my return, the further from life I feel. I care nothing for the living. I only care for what I can take from them.
Do you feel that way about me too?
No, of course not.
What are we doing?
We're reclaiming our world. The only way we can.
Are you sure? This is what you want?
We made an agreement. Are you having second thoughts?
I don't know. Maybe.
Ceridian's death has changed things for you.
Yeah. She had power, purpose. She had love, and she still chose to leave. Maybe she's right.
Should we reconsider? It may not be too late to change our minds. But you must promise me, Red, whatever we decide, we stick to it. We cannot change our minds again.
I swear it, my love. This is it.
I don't know how we go as far as we have down this path and then say never mind. The time for that was before we took the soul of Captain Pennington. Like we are in it now. Yeah, no, if they had asked me this, sorry, I wasn't expecting to be asked to revow. If they had asked this, if we were in the room with Pennington and this conversation happened right then, whoa, hold on a second, Red, I'm not so sure about this. What do we want to do? I might have reconsidered. I really might have. We are in too far now. If we're going to take the soul of somebody who I think was fundamentally a good man, who did something unconscionable on at least one occasion, remember that Red also talks about doing things that he's not sure that he can live with. So for him to sit in judgment of Pennington and to take his soul, to now say, oh, I think I've changed my mind, maybe it's a sunk cost fallacy, but we're going to have him continue on forward with this.
I want this. I want this only real. I want to be with you in the flesh.
Our minds are set. We're going back.
Thank you.
Thank me when you're back.
Backed by the Banishers, Helen Priest dethroned Captain Pennington. Dark truths were unearthed. Some secrets remain buried. The survivors must now set aside old sins and build themselves lives worth living. But can Helen Priest lead them into the future? chained as she is to her past.
I would feel better about answering that question if she didn't have, like, that avatar of her past whispering into her ear. New haunting cases have manifested in New Eden. Once you leave the shelter, open your map to view the location. So we're going to go see if we can meet up with Fear God, because that's like a whole round of collectibles or puzzles or whatever that we haven't had a chance to do. There's nothing for me to do here, so we're going to get ready to go. Let's listen if we have any dialogue, but failing that, Jab had answered the question about Helldivers, and I have been reading along here. The answer is, so, and I didn't know this, I didn't know this is how the game was structured. I guess in Helldivers 2, the premise of the game is that all of your individual games that different players are doing with their groups or pickup groups or solo or whatever they're winding up doing is... Okay, hold on. So, first of all, we should have something here. I guess it's all part of, like, one big meta game to clear the planet, and due to the way that some players have found that they can farm for the best gear, they're going into a mission, farming, like, a big reward, and then rather than seeing the mission through, they're then quitting, causing that mission to fail, and it's causing the progress to regress, which seems, yeah, like it's kind of ruining the fun for others. We'll take a look at that in a second. That's oh, there's like whole different pages to this. Okay. I still can't help but pay attention to the fact that this one has a green check marked and the others don't. Like I haven't quite done something. But we did that. We've got others here in the Dark Woods that we haven't done, or maybe, you know, we'll have to go back and find them. And then we've got this one from Mount Pleasant, which was not very pleasant. Do we have any idea where Fear God was? I don't remember where he was. I really thought it would be somewhere in our quest log. Well, let's look at the map, because I want to say that Seeker had specifically said... Okay, you guys, we're gonna do so many haunting cases. You guys, look at all the activities. We'll go back and do activities as well. So we can definitely get through that. I am actually semi-tempted. Oh, look, there it is. That's why I want to go in here. I was about to say I might go look it up. So yes, let's go here. We're going to go to Fear God. And the reason I want to do that above all else is that we keep finding these little totems, and then I can't actually do it. So if we fast travel to Hunter's Camp, then we can go here. So I'm going to follow that. I am so excited about all the haunting investigations. Because I like the combat and I like the exploration in this, but I like it so much more when there's like a narrative backdrop for it. But yeah, Jab was saying that one planet went from like 80% progress to 20%. It is a problem for the game. Yeah, here's the thing. If people are like cheating in Diablo 2 to get themselves like super high gems and replicate like high level items, I don't care. I'm not gonna play multiplayer Diablo 2 with them. They can cheat all day long. They can use hex editors to give themselves infinity stats if that's what they think is fun. That seems anti-fun to me, but whatever, there's somebody else. They can go do that. As soon as that sort of behavior gets inserted into a multiplayer game, darn it, that's where it becomes an issue. And Helldivers 2 is a multiplayer game, and having been, as we all have been, in an environment, yeah, I didn't do this, where you're trying to play the multiplayer game and have fun, but other people are coming in and then just like going AFK. Just like, no, you can solve it for me. I won't actually do the game. That sucks. It's really annoying. No crud. Hold on. Unhighlight and then travel. So the other thing that I will share about this game and this episode specifically, episode 10. Normally, we are very, very hesitant to make any sort of, like, significant changes. We want the presentation to be generally pretty consistent, especially on these, playthroughs that are going to have a lot of episodes, because we don't want there to be a clear dividing line on, like, well, this is where that tech change was made. With this game specifically, this is sort of like a little bit of, here's what you might not know. So, Banishers, when played here, what I see here, has, for the last 9 episodes, had a fairly pronounced film grain effect put over it. That's just part of the game and its presentation, and I think it looks great. One thing that, like, I didn't realize at first, and then was pointed out to me, you guys don't see that at all. Like, in the last 9 episodes, there has been no film grain. The streaming software that we use has probably just, like, automatically, as part of its quality settings, been completely culling that out. And furthermore, there doesn't seem to be any way to make it not do that. So you guys have, from the very first episode, had just a much cleaner image than what I've been seeing, perhaps a little bit less stylized, but and I have to say, like, having now looked at it very carefully, it's amazing. It is amazing how the streaming software has cleaned up the image to remove all of that film grain. It's not like a huge difference, but it is noticeable for sure. So here we are now in episode 10, and the conversation that we had here was, well, if the viewers can't see the film grain anyway, maybe we can relax the stress on the streaming software to turn that off. Fun fact, Banishers does not have a setting for film grain. It's clearly present, but it doesn't have, like, a toggle. There's no check mark. I can take or leave film grain depending on the game. Sometimes I really like it. Like, I actually really like the effect in this game, but a little bit surprised that there was no option to toggle it off for people who don't like it or who find it very annoying. Fortunately, there is a bit of a...
If the map is correct, the treasure must be hidden nearby.
And that's how I learned there was a treasure nearby. So we'll look around a little bit. It turns out that you can, at least here on the PC, do an engine.ini tweak. Speaking of cheating, quote-unquote cheating, in this single-player game. So we have now made a very subtle one-line change to engine.ini here for Banishers to remove the film grain effect. So this is the very first game where, very first episode where I'm not seeing it. And hopefully, you guys either notice...
This must be where the treasure is hidden.
No difference at all, or maybe it's, like, looking or running a little bit better because it's just less effort on the streaming software to clean up that image. Okay. Oh, that's another thing. Strange wooden figurine. These are the totems I was talking about. Far away from the cursed chest it belongs to, west of the old marsh encampment. So, to that end, now that we... Oh, and here's one more just, like, quick point. Although the film grain has been removed from this actual gameplay session, I noticed that it is on in the cutscenes. So, that's just sort of an open question for folks who might be watching along live, or maybe in the comments, if you guys want to let us know after the fact. If you guys perceive any...
Watch out! Spectre possession.
Yeah, God, I'm pressing the wrong button. The rifle swing, by the way, is very short range. Like, because I've never done it before, I'm still trying to work out exactly at what range it'll hit. But it does not the same sort of, like, reach as his regular sword swing has. Alright, there's nothing else over here. And we found the treasure. Like, that totem was the treasure that they were talking about. So, find Fear God Waterbury's hut. Jav is also saying that the Helldivers 2 team should have known it was going to happen. Gamers are going to farm, everybody farms. I guess if I was... My best guess is that they underestimated the degree to which it's going to happen. And that is a common thing. I feel like either that or they just didn't feel like they had time to address it. I also think that the overall popularity of Helldivers caught the studio by surprise. I think that they probably had some sort of internal marketing department or something that was like, well, based on sort of like the marketing resonance that we're getting out there, here's our best guess for viewer counts. And I feel like they blew past that tenfold. So that might be another feeling of like, oh man, they just didn't realize how much extra farming there was going to be. But yeah, I feel like if your game is going to be worried about things like multiplayer balance, it would behoove you to have a couple people on the team who, if it's not their primary job, maybe they just have sort of a special eye for how are people going to abuse these systems to get ahead? What actions can players take to not play the game so that they can get more powerful or faster or like rank up better in the game that they're not playing? Because there's absolutely a mindset where it's less about like, let's engage with this game as intended and more, can I break it and be more powerful than everybody else? And again, in a single player game, I don't care about that. And indeed, if the environment is set up so that it doesn't actually hurt other players, they can do it all they want. I literally don't care if the player, here's Fear God's hut, or at least a hut.
Easy as pie.
Nah, but you can't cook.
If I'm running around in Destiny and I see somebody else who's been playing for 4 hours and they're like maximum level
This
and they
must
have
be Fear God's lair.
Hopefully his writing is still around.
the best of everything in the world, what difference does that make to me? They can do that. I don't care. Also, I mean, that's one of the things that we're trying to unlock, that purple pyre. So I'm going to not bother trying to interact with that, and instead we'll just take all of his hoof fungus and chervil. I can't jump over that. Caroluna is preparing to reinstall Windows one of those days. Any tips on stuff easily forgotten to copy? So Caroluna, your setup is a lot more sophisticated than anything that we ever do. Like our streaming software settings and stuff is gonna, like, last time we had to do a reinstall, that stuff just all copied over. Just to be on the safe side, it might be worth literally copying the entire user profile. It's larger than you might actually need, but you might wind up catching some old save games or setting files and stuff that you sort of customized and maybe forgot about, because then you can always restore it. Jab is also asking if you're doing a clean install. Yeah, Jab might have... Jab is also very careful about his backup, so he might have some tips. Just grab Fear God's book, resting on the etched symbol into the table. It'll be great. Ritual of Spirit Unbinding. I command you, unclean spirit, whoever you are, be you alone and with your minions. Be you alone and with your minions. To leave now. You are not released but exiled. You are not freed but sent back. You are not strong but weak. You are gone now, I command you.
Ritual of Unbinding. This must be it.
Yes. All you have to do now is repeat Fear God's prayer to get rid of a curse placed upon an item.
Collecting the tempting evil. Praise be the Lord, my long years of demonologist studies will finally serve my fate. From these secluded woods I can observe and protect these lands while keeping his light upon them. The hamlet of New Eden was too crowded, but also too narrow, to let me efficiently accomplish my great work. In this small room at the King's Arms, I had trouble focusing and finding the many sources of evil. Here, from the screen of the tall, dark tress. Okay. I will fulfill my task alone with a sharpened mind. What is wrong with these people? It's like the immensity of the wild has blurred their faith and shaken their fortitude. Is it the fear of the unknown that incite them to seek help in all those unholy trinkets I know many are secretly trading? Is it something more wicked, like the sinful attraction for the false idols? Is it this valley itself? is it this bad mouth a few corrupted men speak about, a gate to hell supposedly hidden in the center of the region? I leave to other soldiers of Christ the task of sealing this mouth when they find it. My task here is clear. I've already spotted at least 3 terribly devilish items brought here by settlers. One at the wrist of a hunter, another at the neck of a sailor, and a third hanging at the window of a farm. They will be mine soon, before they can spread their bad influence on weaker minds, before a darker trade begins, like I've already witnessed it in Providence or Boston. Soon I shall grab those cursed items before locking them behind the strongest demonologist ritual I've learned, to be dispelled only through the most powerful ritual of unbinding. For more safety, I shall even hide the chest in the deepest parts of the valley. When it is done, I shall search for more cursed trinkets, until the last root of corruption is finally ripped from this blessed land, destined to be sowed by the elected ones. Fear God Waterbury. It's a man who... Is this Fear God? I hope it's Fear God, because if it's anybody else, there might be some questions. Okay. I feel like... Oh. $40. We found $40 back here. Killen is saying to Jab, yes, clean reinstall on the same disk, currently running Windows 10. Possibly, you've learned the unbounding ritual, remove curses from cursed chests. To open a cursed chest, you need to find 3 wooden figurines. I think I found 3 for some of the others. Hidden nearby, then perform the unbounding ritual. Cursed chests can hide valuable things like equipment. Oh, is that, you guys, is that what the white wisps are supposed to mean? That there's either a totem nearby or a chest? Because I've been wondering, we see those all over the place, and I was just like, oh, maybe that's just for atmosphere, but now I'm thinking that it's actually for this.
Looking at this is giving me the willies. What's it cost?
Okay, here we go. First one. Unbounding. Meant to unbind a malignant spirit from an item or place, this ritual is mostly used to counter a previous binding spell. Such powerful rituals exist in many different cultures and magic traditions. Oh, also, we did get to see Seeker draw her dagger out of, like, her...
I command you to leave now.
Oh, I was really expecting a fight. Oh, yeah, and the white wisp just went in there. And became a... armlet? This thing. Soldier of Fortune. Rifle shots consume 25 spirit points to deal 50% increased damage. I really... Like, it is so satisfying to fire that rifle at a ghost. I did not think that shooting a gun at a ghost was gonna feel as good as it does. However, this is very bad for Antea down the line. I don't like all of those red. Sorry, I just bumped the mic. Let's set that aside. What's my current one? Up to 50% the higher the spirit gauge. The lower the spirit gauge. Now, hold on. I actually don't hate this one. Because when we're on Taya, here's the thing. Every punch that she does lowers her spirit gauge. Every amount of damage that Antea gets lowers the spirit gauge. Sometimes I am out of spirit gauge, and then if red comes in and is dealing like mondo damage coming off of it, this is a lot of red, but it's also a lot of green, and the red isn't that bad. If you take a look there, we're gaining 8 points of strength to lose 5 points of wisdom. We're gaining 8 points of dexterity to lose 5 points of wrath. This actually seems really good. I can't upgrade it right now, but however you would say the name of this Bane ring, we might wind up taking that. Manifestations decrease 30%. I don't like that one. I don't like the less damage. It's basically do it more often, but it's less effective. I'd rather have very effective things, and this is terrible. Yeah, no, I actually don't like Fervent Devotion even a little bit. I want to use this. I want to use this and upgrade it. Okay, so that was it. That was our first cursed chest. Go to the Harrows. No. Oh, here's the fight I thought we were gonna do.
Don't just stand there. Move. Think you could take on a ghost?
Nope. Darn it. Who is doing that?
A wee Highland kiss for you. Piss off!
The end is one of the spectres you fought against your own life.
A fate met by many a holy man unable to let go.
Carolina also says that he'll be switching from AMD to Intel at some point in the number of months. So I'm pretty sure I'll go to 11 then, if not now. Last time I heard you need 11 to get proper prioritization between the cores in the big little stuff Intel is doing nowadays. And Jab is saying that he had to do that in a BIOS update. I'm actually, so I have -1 experience with Windows 11. I've basically seen it on other people's systems in like YouTube videos. I have never laid hands on it. So far, I have no reason to want to go to Windows 11, nor any reason to want to avoid it. So, Carolina, I will really appreciate any feedback you have on your experience with it. So, we have Fear Godded. I very much want to do an investigation. Or an activity. Hold on, I kind of want to do these activities, because remember how I said that we don't have a lot of, like, green check marks? The one green check mark that we got was apparently from doing that one activity where we sort of, like, wrapped up the post story on one of the quests. And I'm thinking that maybe we can get that here. But let's see what the activities are. While we're running down here, so Apnilla, APNLA 247, very good friend of the stream, extremely talented streamer. The man is going to be a partner before you know it. I really think that he has a really great just everything on his stream. So he started playing Guardians of the Galaxy. We did a full playthrough of that a year or two ago. As of this sentence, the full thing is also up on YouTube. Really less of it got claimed than you might think, given the amount of licensed music there. But here, App has encountered an issue that I didn't have personally, but is a good reminder that people have different setups and different eyeballs in their head. They process information differently. In Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a scanning mechanic where you sort of go into detective mode like you're playing Batman. With this one being sort of stylized as sort of being like a very deep crimson or scarlet, with like things of interest being a very bright, vibrant pink. And it turns out that that has been really difficult on his eyes, like headache-inducing on his eyes. He loves the game. He really enjoys playing it. He was having a lot of physical discomfort playing the game just because of that stylistic choice. We'll maybe continue this after we find out what the quest is, because I think that we helped come to a reasonably good solution for him. I don't remember what we have and haven't read in here, so this will be a second. The mines in Mount Jericho are being closed by dint of devilry and such. I've no ore to send yous. You must wait, perhaps forever. I kind of want to now just shorten perhaps as praps. Hey, you don't mind if I read this real quick, lady, right? I have definitely not read this. Yes, I have. Oh, this is the, yes, okay. This is the widow of the guy who was beating her. And then this is the blacksmith lady. At least I think so.
Red McCraith, how very good it is to see you.
Are you well?
We make do. We're almost happy. Well, that's saying something, things being the way they are. We owe you for that. We'd like to repay you. If you can bring the iron, we'll craft you something fine. And glad to do it. I heard Fort Jericho used to have a blacksmith. Perhaps you'll find some there?
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Eaton.
Thank you for your interest, Mr. McCraith.
We can definitely go do that, but did I not find quality iron? Well, we just came from there, so we're going to look at what the other... Let's get all the activities, and then maybe we can do all of the activities. Because, yeah, apparently I didn't pick up any quality iron while I was there. I didn't realize that was on the shopping list. All right, let's take a quick look here. But yeah, in terms of, like, dark or sad stories, Oh, also... Isn't the whole thing that your fake husband is a terrible blacksmith? Can I just say, I really, really, really hope that we go get the quality iron. She says, "Oh, thank you, Mr. McWraith. I promise it'll be worth your time." And then we like go away for a little while. We come back the next day. Here you go, and she hands us one high quality nail. It's a really good nail, though. Made from the finest iron from the cursed mines. Okay, so as we read this, our question will be, which of our previous cases does it pertain to? Kate's notice. Well, I have a prediction. To those who walk in the woods, wolves roam the valley and unknown beast howls at night. Stay away if you would live. Kate Newsmith.
Howling in the fog. Jacob and Benedict's Valley.
Maybe.
Jacob can't come back, can he?
No. But if it makes you feel better, we can go and check.
Carolyn is saying, yeah, they really nailed it. Yeah, let's go check this out. The Howling Wolves. We're almost certainly not going to fast travel. I just want to see what we're looking at for distance. Well, we can't fast travel there. Yeah, no, we have to walk it. And this is a great opportunity to revisit the Creeping Ivy. But yeah, so honestly, if she was like, "Oh, let me give you a present for putting to rest my abusive ex-husband who's now at the bottom of the ocean," and I would have been very happy to say, "No, it's good." But believe me, the journey was its own reward on that one. And it would further be like, on the topic of the stories in this can be really dark, some of them end in a way that just puts a smile on your face, and that was one of them. But the fact that the reward we're going to get is something made of quality iron by the worst blacksmith in all the land, it's going to be a curiosity piece for sure.
Change targets. Tormented first.
Okay. Yell. But it is a bit like solving the case of the forged painter, and then at the end they offer to like give you the Rembrandt they found. Although I continue to this came up in a much, much earlier episode of a different playthrough. If somebody can fake the work of somebody else so well that the best art critics in all the world are completely fooled and fawning over what an amazing original work it is, and then they find out that it wasn't made by the same set of hands that they thought it was, so now it is retroactively bad, that still feels like bullshit. So I gotta say that if a convicted painting forger wanted to paint me something, I would actually probably be really enthusiastic about it, because they were good enough to get convicted of something. I'd probably be very impressed by their quality.
Enough!
Okay, investigate the valley. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. Jab feels the same. Oh, and Cara Luna says that he feels, he's fumbling around when he gets, like, Windows 11 calls. I have to say, that is a compelling reason to... Yep, no, we already read that. That is a compelling reason to get, to be running whatever the operating system is at home. You guys, this was where we... Remember when Red got, like, dangled upside down by his boot? This was it, because that's where the very first Bone Walker came out. Also... I went past it. There was a wolf strung up by one leg into the air, and I when we came in, I made a mental note to like shoot him down, and then I forgot. But it's not worth going back for. That's what you get to when you realize that like the crafting materials and stuff will sort of like respawn when you rest. And we can get it next time. It's fine. You know, I will absolutely pick up stuff as I'm walking past it, because we can always sell. That's another great thing about the, like, economy in this game. You can, if you pick up stuff you don't need, then you just sell it to buy the stuff that you do need. Jab is convinced that the whole art world is pretty much BS. From an outsider's perspective, it can definitely feel that way. I need to allow for my own breadth of inexperience and lack of knowledge before I look at something that somebody else knows really well and be like, well, that's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But yeah, from the outsider, it is specifically that forgery thing. I feel like it's an incredible cell phone for the art community to say this piece of art is really awesome until they learn that somebody who's not famous enough did it, and then they're like, oh, now it's bad.
No scourge neither.
These are Jacob and Ben's trapping grounds, but I sense no stains. We keep looking.
Oh, you guys, actually, this is the, remember the two guys that were stuck in the fog? One dude pushed his boyfriend off the edge and then was, like, eating the corpse. That's the case that we're following up on, Jacob and Ben. It wasn't Kate Newsmith.
The fog is back, but it can't be Ben Stoughton's doing.
Nor Jacob Lynn's. So, something else. Let's find the source. The descent is too steep with the fog. Cross the bridge. The path is easier there.
I legitimately don't know. It seems like she wants me to cross the bridge, but also this doesn't seem that steep. Oh, is this it? She can't...
Can I tell my arse from my elbow?
Yeah. That's what they meant. Okay, so we want to cross the bridge, and we do that over here. I do like to call it out when, like, they've added some dialogue to make it clear, don't waste your time on this, go do it this other way. Because without that line of dialogue, I might have been extremely confused on how I was supposed to get down there. But Antea said, no, just cross the bridge. And it has solved the part where I wasn't going to be, like, unlocking a puzzle. I was just going to feel completely lost about where to go. Yeah, exploration can be fun, but so can doing the story. That can be fun, too. And now we're just going to be on to the story. Killen is taking pictures of the installed programs and passwords that he doesn't save. We have, probably in a couple different places, on each of our phones, for example, probably multiple photographs of what the... Why am I failing at language? The streaming settings are. Even though they appear to be, like, backed up in the cloud and stuff, just so that we could replicate the setup with all the same volume settings and all the same everything, just in case. I don't know if we're in the fog yet. We are not. And also, I don't know where the fog is from here. So, if somebody were to ask me, like, what is the closest touchstone for this game? Like, what is it? What are the inspirations for this game? I would probably say, what if you took the visual aesthetic of The Witch, or, like, the Vivitch, or however you're supposed to say it. I just call it The Witch. But also then the Blair Witch Project, minus the found footage of it. We're out in the woods, it's cold and raw, there's stick figures everywhere, there's sort of these arcane entities that are sometimes operating by rules that are unfamiliar. Well, now I feel like I'm going the wrong way. Like this, you are in a cursed valley, and the land itself just doesn't want you here, and things are going to end badly. That has a very, like, Blair Witch to it. There's probably 100,000 other things that, like, draw from that same sort of general oeuvre. Probably completely missing that. Alright, yeah, let's work our way further into this. I'm looking for that big, thick fog bank. Yeah, up there. That's where we want to go. We may yet do that, but look around. Okay, now this feels... This doesn't feel right. So I'm going to go back up here. Is there any way for us to get further... What direction is that? West? But yeah, taking pictures of, like... Yeah, we can do that. Taking pictures of, like, this is how things were can, in my experience, be very helpful for getting them back that way.
Oh, I do not like that.
Wolves can't survive in this fog.
So it's worse than a wolf. Good news.
What carnage.
I really don't like that.
Dude, that bonus damage?
Wolf after all.
Certainly seemed unusually murderous. Let's look around.
The bonus damage on the rifle shot, if you get in, like, the rifle swing, is really good.
Slammed against the rock. Hard enough to kill it.
No spectral traces.
This is really going to bother me now. There was something that Caroluna had said. Oh, I think Caroluna, it was specifically when you had asked if Antea perceives the passage of time the same way that Red does. I don't know if you were here when I called that back like last episode, but that was a really good question.
Jacob died right here.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Whatever a lifetime looks like.
Yeah, when he died, he was a body, and then when we came back later, he was a lot of very quickly rotten meat, and now he is just bones. Of all things, we learned from, or I learned from the...
Fresh.
Someone took refuge here and was attacked on their way out.
Okay.
Claw marks. Whatever disemboweled this poor chap was much bigger than a wolf.
No spectral traces.
Oh, I didn't finish up the Apnilla story. We already looked at that. I just want, he's going to say the same thing again?
Claw marks. Whatever disemboweled this poor chap was much bigger than a wolf.
Yeah, I can't back out of it.
No spectral traces.
Every once in a while, like, we'll be playing and, like, somebody will say something in chat and I just will forget to go back for that. I always feel bad.
Footprints.
They lead to the cliff face. No human could climb that.
It does look pretty challenging, but I've seen people that are like, just goddamn Spider-Man. Oh, so in sort of brainstorming, the idea was pitched, what if Apnilla went into the NVIDIA control panel and dialed down the setting called Digital Vibrance? That will somewhat desaturate the scene and maybe reduce the amount of eye strain that he was experiencing that was really giving him a headache with that scanning mechanic. And on his second session, he confirmed that he was feeling like he still doesn't like the way that it's visually presented, but it was much more comfortable and did not result in like a horrible migraine. So I feel like there's something here that I haven't found because we are in the search zone. Yeah. Investigate the area. I am missing something.
Slammed against the rock. Hard enough to kill it.
No spectral traces. No spectral presence at all, as far as I can tell.
That's outside the search zone. I want to look up since I'm going to feel foolish if it's just dangling above my head somehow.
Jacob died right here.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Whatever a lifetime looks like.
Oh,
Someone's been here. Or Jacob, if they've been dead.
Whoever it was, they left nothing useful behind.
Oh, summing up. Someone took refuge here, but was attacked. A massacre of wolves caused the fog, but of whatever did the killing, there is no trace.
Not a ghost, nor a spectre. Something with an uncanny climbing ability. Well, I'm stumped.
I suppose some mysteries are never solved.
what? No, what? That's the answer? Well, there's something stalking the woods, murdering wolves, by slamming them into the walls at high rates of speed, and also it can climb like a spider. Oh well, back to what we were doing. Wait, what's that?
Stubborn bastard!
try this on for size.
Okay. Well, I mean, while we're here, that's why you couldn't fast travel there. Also, because, like, you had to go through that area and realize, oh, it's covered in mist. Carolina says, speaking of killing wolves, that wolf was already dead. I was just making sure that he stopped being a jerk to everybody. Multiple other wolves, also, yes, I have killed. That were actually alive. Also, Jeff's talking about his quarterly backup. Was this... Maybe I'm misremembering. I remember there being like a bi-yearly backup, because I remember talking to Jab once during New Year's. But yeah, just to round out that story for Apnilla, or about Apnilla, I was very glad that he found something that made it more comfortable for him. And yeah, it's just a reminder that, like, that's an example. We were talking about Helldivers 2, and like the developers just not accounting for the way that some people would... Oh, that's right, it's just the tunnel. That's what it's cluing me in on. The way that some people might play in a way that was antithetical to the spirit of the game in order to just, like, level up, rank up, get better stuff faster. This is a case where, like, I played all the way through Guardians. I just never really thought about the scanning mechanic outside of, oh, it has a scanning mechanic. So there's got 1 and 2, and hopefully just the 2. But for somebody else, like App, it's a case of he would really benefit from having... Crud. No. Did I fail? I definitely failed. Okay. There's a third. Where's the third? There? There. Okay, so we stand right here.
Quick and precise. Well done.
Club, who agrees Helldivers 2 is an amazing game. Club, I hope that your week has been going well. Hopefully you'll have some time off coming soon. I didn't get a chance to follow up on our last conversation. That update would be Firaxis as a strategy game maker has not missed with me yet. Like, I am a huge fan of Civilization 6. The closest thing to a miss for me from them would probably have been Civilization 5. That's the Civ game that I wound up playing substantially less than 4 or 6. I know that a lot of people at least say that they prefer it over 6. I really like Civ 6, but even then, I played dozens of hours of 5. Then you've got XCOM, then you've got XCOM 2. I'm trying to think of, like, those... Sid Meier's Beyond Earth. Beyond Earth is a game that I would like to see a sequel to, because I feel like there's a...
Yes. Something's here.
I feel like Beyond Earth is brimming with unrealized potential. I feel like that game is like 70% of a really great game. I don't want to try to break down Beyond Earth right now, but it's a very good game. So on the topic of like a prospective XCOM 3, even if it is without lead developer Jake Solomon, I think that studio has a huge amount of strategy pedigree. I'm really excited about a XCOM 3. The only thing that would give me pause is that the human being that made all these other games, by the way, like Jab, same guy that was lead developer on Midnight Suns. like, Jake Solomon knows how to do strategy games. He's so good at those mechanics. I really will miss having his hand at the wheel on that one. Anyway, sacred geometry. What came first? The innate gift of the oracles, seers, and shamans, or the painful knowledge made into a teaching to be passed down through generations? Impossible to know for sure. Maybe they both grew along, while a few lore keepers built a deeper understanding of the incarnate and the invisible, and of the thin veil, too, that hangs between them, and of the place and predicament of the lingering dead. Long ago, even before we humans began to mark the passing of time, before we farmed snails or planted grain, perhaps even before we fashioned tools, the sharpest of us saw that within nature, as random and unpredictable she could be, there were to be found shapes and patterns, the widening spiral of a seashell, the interlocked hexagons of the honeycomb. These nascent minds divined that there was meaning in these repeated shapes, and as time passed, and humans learned to count and draw, those who stood closest to the veil noticed that representing the world in concept, words and numbers, lines carved in stone, inked on paper, or scratched in the sand, could not only reveal the other world, wherein live magic and the dead, but also to impact upon it. Abstraction allows us to impose order. This is, I want to talk about this afterwards, but it reminds me of a really good movie. In Sumer, we used our capacity to represent the abstract to count our corn, and soon after to record our stories. Then, elsewhere in Mesopotamia, the Chaldeans looked to the stars and drew lines and saw patterns and repeating cycles. By the way, astronomy is amazing to me. That anybody ever figured out like how the stars move in the sky, it's amazing to me. Anyway, astronomy was born, and from this science grew the art of divination by the stars, an art that would sit close to the heart of many subsequent civilizations in Greece, India, Byzantium, and in the palaces and castles of Muslim caliphs and Christian kings, Occidental and Oriental. It is the patient and excruciating scrutiny of the stars, and in the delicate study of the tiniest shell or leaf, that the wise brought out the geometric rules which rule us all, dead and alive alike. The Seeker. But Seeker is like a title. Haven't we worked that out? Like, I don't think that this is Seeker like we know her, but I could be wrong. Yeah, as Jab says, XCOM 2 is 95% off. With the DLC, it's 93%. If anybody here does not own XCOM 2 and considers themselves a strategy or like tactical strategy fan...
Spectre nearby. Big one. I'll summon it now.
I have yet to see it done better. Okay, make manifest, yeah? Weren't the stars used as a way for to travel during the night? Yeah, I believe using sextants, and there's another tool whose name I'm forgetting. But I bet Jab not only... Wait, really? Oh, I did the wrong one. That's not it, and that's not it. Summon Scourge? Is this a Scourge pile? Endless Scourge. Oops. I thought we were making the Ghost Manifest.
I summon you now!
Julian says that he has the game, not sure about the DLC. I would... It's not every... Ow. It's not every game that, it's like super critical to get the DLC. But I really do feel like XCOM 2 is just a better and more complete package with the DLC. I can't think of good reason to not get the DLC.
You wee bastard.
This isn't over yet.
More heavy charge attack damage. Okay. Yep, there we go. I forgot to check that. It's been a couple days since the last episode.
Piss off. I'll get you eventually.
Dodge.
It's going all out.
I don't know what that means. Oh.
It's about to shoot.
My thing with XCOM 2 at this point is, I've gotten extremely bad at playing it.
Oh, I don't like this.
Oh, fuck.
Try this on for size.
Promise you I'm trying not to do that.
Reinforcements.
By the way, if you're wondering why I'm not trying to block or parry that, it's because the higher level guys, like this dude's 21, it feels like more often than not, even on a successful parry, they do an awful amount of damage. Oh, don't be in there. Boy, do I not want to die at this point. There's one more bird in the air. There we go.
This might hurt. I'm right here, you know.
Okay, now this one is red, so it's repeatable. We will not be repeating it right now. Maybe swing back a little bit later, or like look around off stream. +1 to all attributes, plus the like Scourge attribute that we got. Seems really good. Okay, what else do we have in this area? Nothing there. So we've gone to Jacob's Lean-To. We've already gotten whatever that is. That's just a campfire. Let's head back to town. Club says, War of the Chosen made me add 800 hours to the game. Carol Luna has 43 hours in XCOM and 11 minutes in XCOM 2. Look, to each their own. Like, not every game and not every genre, not every presentation of a game within of a genre as a game is going to land with everybody else. I think that XCOM 2 completely supersedes the first one. That XCOM remake was very exciting. I enjoyed it very much. I was very happy to see it come out after many, many, many years of XCOM being a completely dead franchise. Once XCOM 2 came out, it is very difficult to return to that previous XCOM. And I thought it was like I really liked that expansion pack as well, where they added like the enemy within, where you could get like genetic material and stuff. It's just, I find XCOM 2 so much more dynamic, so much more unpredictable. It's got such a great way of like luring you forward and also making you want to take your time. It rewards forethought and careful execution and a thorough understanding of the tools at your disposal, and being able to react dynamically. And sometimes, by the way, like, I think that a really valuable tactic in XCOM 2 is, this is out of hand. I have to go. I have to abandon this. We have to just leave and take the L and come back another time. Like, and that is a valid strategy. I really, really admire the execution on XCOM 2. With or without War of the Chosen, but especially with. So, I do not have any spirit points. I don't really know how I get spirit points. Oh, haunting cases. It says it right there. Okay. So, let's look here. Of these two, I think that hitting an enemy with the rifle stock, because we're going to stack that with our current one, and I'm more comfortable doing it now, so we're going to do that. But let's go do a haunting case, because I actually don't have anything else that I can spend level up points on. Yeah. No, that's it. That's all the level up points. So let's go do a haunting case. I didn't actually mean to get up because we were going to fast travel. Carol Luna says that he played Farming Sim 2013 a bit too long, so I'm going to make that a round number. I'll have to play until 4,096 hours. Okay, so we have haunting cases galore. We're gonna, I was gonna go by title, but we don't have one. So let's go do, that's up on Mount Pleasant. Well, we do have to go to Mount Pleasant to get the iron, and there is an activity there also. Let's not get bogged down in which one we choose. Let's just go to Hunter's Camp. Darn it. X travel. Oh, and Carolina also has not played a Chimera Squad. Neither have I, although I think that Jab tried it. Not Jab. I think Club tried it and found it wanting. I would still like to try it.